So, Mr. Neptune, how do you feel that RM has changed the education that's taking place in JN Elementary?
Well, obviously it has changed the traditional learning, traditional classroom setting that I experienced when I first came here to JN. For us to be able to expand our lab, change our classrooms around, to be able to utilize a specific lab area, and the teachers to get involved in a program like RM has been very special, especially for the utilization of technology in our classroom, especially today's classroom.
All right. Now, as an administrator, how do you engage with the program?
Well, daily I walk through almost every class that goes on in Reasoning Mind. I leave the office and go check every class. Sometimes, in the case of Mrs. Harney's class, I hear it through the walls when they're doing their chant. But daily I am in the Reasoning Mind lab to see what's going on. But also, I'm big on the emails. Reasoning Mind allows the students to email me daily. And I get some great comments that's going on in the classroom. I also see what their streaks are, and I'm able to go across and say, hey, student X or student Y, great job. I see where you're doing, this. And in some cases, I have to deal with the complaints that come across from Reasoning Mind and emails from the students. Those are tough ones there that we have to, as administration, filter our way through, such as the price of the flying monkeys, and dealing with those issues as they come across with student complaints. But no, it's great to be able to change the course of your day, go into the lab, see what's going on, see the growth that the teachers that have put the time in building the bulletin boards that they have, and the uniqueness of the room, as well as having it at my fingertips to see the communication from the kids and the emails I get.
Have you seen positive growth in your student population due to the implementation of Reasoning Minds?
Positive growth from which aspect?
With respect to your math scores and benchmarking and scores in general.
Currently we just finished our second benchmark, and we are data driven with our materials. We have to have those conversations that the teachers like to have around benchmark time. But as far as the data is concerned, JN right now is ahead of the county in both math and reading, but specifically in math because that's what we're dealing with, in both fourth and third grade, which the correlation has to be that's the impact that Reasoning Mind is getting involved in our math program. We have the core instruction time, but the supplemental time that's going along with Reasoning Mind and the creativeness that the kids are enjoying, I think is really impacting the scores. At least that's what it's showing on our benchmarks, and we'll keep our fingers crossed as we get to the final test, in May. But it's obviously showing it is growing positively.
So did you struggle incorporating RM into your regular school day? How did you go about doing that?
Well, didn't really struggle as much as concern. My administrative philosophy is very simple. We're a team. It's not an authoritarian figure to determine whether we're going to start a new program or not. And so, mine was to be able to set the teachers down, talk to them about the program, see their initial feelings about it, and then, we had to incorporate it into the daily schedule. And really that wasn't for me to decide. That was the teachers to decide. Because if I want to make it fit, I can make it fit. But in many cases, it may collide. It could collide with their specialist time. It could collide during their planning time. So stay out of that, and let those people that do on a daily basis work that scheduling aspect out. So, it was unique, but yet it's something that I tried to build over JN over the last 3 years, ownership, and letting these teachers have more empowerment of their classroom And so to be able to throw that out to them and watch how they developed it and make it work and receive it was special for me, because that's the type of culture that I wanted at JN.
How has RM impacted your students that have exceptionalities?
That's been interesting to watch, because we talked about that earlier. We have students in a few of the classes that, for example, deal with autism, and it's been fun to watch those students, how they react versus the traditional classroom when I do walkthroughs and see them sitting in the classroom, compared to how they react and how they work on a day-to-day basis of reasoning mind. I have discussed it with even central office. For example, in the autistic subject matter, our special ed director come over and see these students and how they are interacting, with this program. They're due over soon, but I can see this. I was just shocked at how it changes their learning style, their emotion, how well they're able to pay attention. Whether the calmness of the setting, the classroom setting, they're not being or could be disruptive, but it's been very positive with our students and on the flip side, when you're talking about students with exceptionality, let's talk about our gifted students, our students that exceed, on a day-to-day basis. Being able to watch those students reach a certain level and then know that they can go a grade level above has been a topic of some of those. Hey, I'm now at 5th grade level. I'm now at 4th grade level. So it runs the gamut of those that exceed daily, if they're gifted, to those students that deal on a day-to-day basis with autism.
How does the community perceive this program? Have you had a lot of community support for this program?
Because the Reasoning Mind is web-based, we can get the program into the homes. And I can remember first, some of our parents would stop me in the parking lot in the morning and say, "How you doing? What's this Reasoning Mind stuff?" So the conversations were going home early of the children that were working in the lab, but as it has developed, to be able to hear the parents talk about, last night we were working on Reasoning Mind, and you break away from that traditional homework setting that the parents have to deal with, to a sit-down family time to watch the children go into RM City, to be able to check the things that they do, as well as go on, to keep working on their streak that they pride themselves on a day-to-day basis.
As you move forward, what is your greatest concern with RM?
How long can we keep it? How long can we keep it? It all comes down, in our world of public education, to funding. We were blessed beyond measures to receive such a large grant that the Gates Foundation, provided. And that gave us 2 years. That gave us, the materials to work with. That gave us, in your case, Mrs. DeWitt, that gave us you to be able to work technology for 2 years. We've planted a great seed, not only at JN. JN is now, become the magnet school for everyone to look at with this program. Will it grow throughout our county? Will it grow throughout our state? A lot of those folks that came to visit us say yes, they want it to. My biggest concern is how and can we maintain the funding? It's crucial, because we've ignited a fire in our little school and in our county, and these parents and these children are going to be moving on to the middle school. What are they going to be offering at the middle school? What are they going to offer at the high school? We started a fire. I hope that we can continue to make sure that flame burns, continuously.